There is an exact amount of XRP that replaces a paycheck forever, and almost every video claiming to answer that question skips the actual arithmetic required to find it. Not a feeling, not a vibe number pulled from a thumbnail, a calculation, built the same way a retirement planner builds one, using math that predates crypto entirely. This video runs that calculation start to finish, using today's numbers, so by the end, you have the actual figure instead of a guess dressed up as one, and you can see exactly how it was built, rather than taking it on faith. That makes the real question worth asking narrower than most people frame it. Not, will XRP make me rich? Not, should I buy XRP? How many tokens, specifically, replace $1,000 a month indefinitely, without ever touching the principal? And what has to be true about the price for that number to shrink instead of grow, rather than climbing further out of reach? Start with what is actually true today, as of the time of recording. XRP trades at approximately $1.50. Market cap sits around $93 billion. Rank 4 to 6 depending on the exchange you check, since XRP just spent 4 days moving through 5 different price levels it had failed to clear all August. Circulating supply is 62.7 billion tokens, out of a maximum supply of 100 billion. That gap between circulating and max supply matters. It comes back later. $1.50. 93 billion market cap, 62.7 billion circulating. That is a starting line every calculation in this video runs from. The formula itself comes from outside crypto entirely, which is exactly why it holds up. The 4% rule. Take an annual income need, divide by 0.04. That produces the portfolio size required to sustain that income indefinitely, drawing down 4% a year without depleting the principal, on the assumption that the underlying asset appreciates over time roughly in line with the withdrawal rate. Financial planners have used this exact formula for retirement accounts for decades, long before anyone had heard of a blockchain. Applying it to XRP does not change the formula, it changes which asset gets plugged into it. Worth pausing on why this particular formula instead of some crypto-native shortcut. XRP does not pay native staking rewards the way a proof-of-stake asset does. There's no yield mechanism built into the ledger itself generating passive income the way holding certain other assets can. That makes the 4% rule the more honest framework here, not a workaround. It treats XRP as what it currently is, an appreciating asset without built-in yield, and calculates the portfolio size required to fund withdrawals through periodic selling rather than promising a yield stream that does not exist on this particular network. Any video claiming XRP pays passive income directly is describing a different asset or a third-party product, not the token itself. Before running the number, the volatility this video will not skip past. A calculation is only honest if it accounts for what holding the asset actually feels like, and XRP just delivered a real-time lesson in that. It gained more than 60% in a single week this month. 3 days later, roughly $500 million in leveraged long positions were liquidated within minutes, and the price dropped 37% from its weekly high before stabilizing. That is not a footnote to skip past on the way to a clean answer. That is the actual texture of holding this asset toward any target this video is about to calculate. The math works. The math also requires sitting through weeks like the one XRP just had, more than once before the target arrives. Notice what a week like that actually does to someone building toward any of the 3 scenarios below, beyond the obvious emotional toll. A holder who panicked and sold to near the bottom of that 37% drop locked in a permanently smaller token count for the same dollars committed. A holder who kept a standing buy order in place through the crash added tokens at a meaningfully better price than the one that existed a week earlier. Same asset, same week, 2 entirely different outcomes. And the difference had nothing to do with predicting the crash and everything to do with having a plan in place before it happened. That distinction matters to the final number than almost anything else in this video, because behavior during volatility compounds across every scenario below, not just the worst one. Compare that week to what the 4% rule actually assumes about the asset underneath it. The rule was built for diversified portfolios of stocks and bonds, assets that historically do not lose more than a third of their value between a Friday and a Saturday. Applying the same withdrawal math to a single volatile asset is not wrong, but it is not the same risk profile either, and pretending otherwise would undersell exactly what this video's title is asking someone to commit to. $300,000 spread across an entire retirement portfolio behaves differently than $300,000 concentrated in one asset that can move 37% against you before you finish your morning coffee. 4 conditions determine whether the number this video is building toward gets easier to reach or harder, and scoring them honestly matters more than rushing to the answer. Condition 1. The Clarity Act passes and provides the regulatory certainty institutional allocators have been waiting for before committing larger capital. Confirmed as actively in motion. A White House summit specifically addressing this legislation already happened this month, with Ripple's own leadership present. Likelihood of eventual passage, medium to high. Likelihood of passage on a timeline that matters for this calculation, uncertain. Condition 2. Spot ETF inflows continue at a scale that meaningfully absorbs circulating supply. Partially confirmed. Multiple XRP ETFs already launched and already hold meaningful positions, with net inflows recently posting their strongest week since May. Likelihood of continuation, medium. ETF flows are sentiment sensitive and can reverse as quickly as they accelerate, which the flash crash earlier this week demonstrated directly. Condition 3. Ripple's own institutional build-out, the National Trust Bank approval, the multi-billion-dollar acquisition spending translates into structural demand for XRP itself, rather than remaining separate from the price action of the token. Partially confirmed. The build-out is real and well-documented. Whether it creates direct token demand or simply strengthens the company without moving the asset is the open question. Likelihood, medium. Condition 4, supply dynamics stay favorable rather than becoming a headwind. This is the condition most people skip, and it deserves more attention than it usually gets. Only 62.7 billion of the eventual 100 billion XRP are circulating right now. The remainder sits in escrow, released on a scheduled monthly basis, meaning every number this video calculates is competing against ongoing dilution, not a fixed and finished supply. Escrow releases have been running in the range of 200 to 400 million tokens net per month, adding somewhere between 2.5 and 5 billion tokens to circulating supply over a full year. Likelihood that dilution stays manageable relative to demand growth? Medium. This is the condition working quietly against every number in this video, and skipping it would make the final answer dishonest. 4 conditions. 2 scored medium to high, 2 scored medium, none scored low. That is not a guarantee. It's a distribution of probabilities, which is a different thing than a promise, and that difference matters more here than in almost any other video this channel makes. Weigh those 4 scores against each other instead of averaging them into a vague impression, because that's where most breakdowns of this topic go soft. Clarity and ETF continuation are the 2 conditions most exposed to sentiment swings outside anyone's control, including Ripple's own. Institutional build-out and supply dynamics are the 2 conditions closer to structural, moving on their own internal timelines regardless of what the broader market does in any given week. A calculation resting more heavily on the structural pair is a sturdier calculation than one resting on the sentiment pair, and worth remembering the next time a single week of price action makes any of these 4 conditions look more or less certain than the underlying data actually supports. Now the actual number, calculated 3 separate ways depending on which price the math runs against. $300,000 is the portfolio target the 4% rule produces for $1,000. That figure does not change across the 3 scenarios below. What changes is the price used to convert it into a token count. Scenario 1. $300,000 divided by today's price of $1.50 equals 200,000 XRP. The number if the entire position needed to exist today at today's price using today's math. Scored. The arithmetic is confirmed and repeatable by anyone with a calculator. Whether it applies to your own timeline depends on how soon you actually need the income. Scenario 2. XRP has already traded above $3. Its confirmed all-time high set in the summer of 2025 is $3.65. Not a hypothetical target, but a price this exact asset has already reached. $300,000 divided by $3.65 equals approximately 82,100 XRP. Less than half the token count required at today's price for the identical $1,000 monthly outcome. Scored. Likelihood of XRP revisiting a level it has already occupied before? Medium to high, because reclaimed price levels behave differently than untested ones. Scenario 3. $10 per XRP.
$300,000 divided by 10 equals 30,000 XRP, a position size most working households could realistically build over several years of consistent accumulation without needing a windfall to get there. Scored. $10 represents roughly 2.7 times the confirmed all-time high, not unprecedented as a multiple for this asset class, genuinely uncertain as a specific outcome, and the 4 conditions scored above are exactly what determines whether this scenario is the one that eventually applies. 200,000, 82,100, 30,000. 3 numbers, each correct at a different point on the same curve, and the gap between them is not random. At today's price, 200,000 XRP costs approximately $300,000 to acquire in a single purchase. 82,000 tokens cost roughly $123,000. 30,000 tokens cost approximately $45,000. Notice the pattern. The scenario requiring the smallest token count also requires the largest price move to arrive, and the scenario requiring the largest token count is the one achievable at today's price with today's capital. That inverse relationship is the entire tension underneath a title like this one, and it is worth stating plainly instead of letting it sit implied. Cheap tokens, achievable today, need a bigger price move to work. Fewer tokens, cheaper to acquire in dollar terms, require the price move to already have happened. Nobody gets both a small token count and a small dollar commitment at the same time, and any video suggesting otherwise is skipping the part of the math that actually matters. Almost nobody builds any of these 3 positions in a single transaction, and almost nobody needs to. Someone acquiring 10,000 XRP a year, dollar cost averaging through a week like the one XRP just had, from a 98-cent low to a $1.69 high in a single month, reaches a meaningful fraction of scenario 1's target within a decade, without ever timing a single top or bottom. The token count that matters is not the one anyone has today. It is the one being systematically built toward, priced through consistent contributions rather than a single conviction-driven purchase. Run that accumulation math one layer deeper, because 10,000 a year means something different depending on when those tokens actually get purchased. Dollar cost averaging through a week like the one XRP just had produces a materially different blended entry price than a single lump sum bought at the 60% rally's peak. Someone buying a fixed dollar amount every month across this year's full range ends up with a blended cost meaningfully below either extreme. That is not a prediction about future price. It is simply what consistent, scheduled buying does mechanically across a volatile range, and it is the single most reliable lever anyone watching this actually controls, since none of the 4 conditions scored earlier are within an individual holder's power to influence directly. There is a 5th factor worth naming, even though it doesn't fit cleanly into the 4 conditions scoring above, because it changes the shape of the entire target rather than just one input into it. Time horizon. Every scenario in this video assumes a fixed $300,000 target, calculated against today's cost of living. Inflation does not pause while a position accumulates. A $1,000 monthly target today is not the same purchasing power 10 years from now, which means the actual target this video is walking through is a moving number, not a fixed one. Anyone building towards scenario 3 over a full decade is not just betting on XRP's price. They're betting that XRP's price grows faster than the cost of living erodes the value of the income it's meant to replace. Compare this to the same math run against a conventional retirement account, because context is what turns a number into a decision instead of just a fact. A traditional index fund portfolio targeting the same $300,000 figure, growing at a historically typical 7 to 10% annual return, takes a disciplined saver putting aside several $100s a month, somewhere in the range of 2 to 3 decades to reach that target from zero. The 3 XRP scenarios above compress that timeline dramatically, but they do it by trading time for volatility. A traditional index fund rarely loses 37% of its value in a single afternoon. Anyone comparing these numbers side by side without accounting for that trade-off is comparing 2 different kinds of bet as though they were the same bet. Direct answer. At today's price, 200,000 XRP replaces $1,000 indefinitely. If XRP reclaims territory it has already occupied before, that number drops to roughly 82,000. If the current institutional build-out, regulatory clarity, and sustained ETF demand all mature together, 30,000 becomes the number. And 30,000 tokens is a position most disciplined accumulators can actually reach. That's the exact amount this video's title promised, stated 3 ways instead of 1 because a single number pretending to be certain would be a worse answer than 3 numbers scored honestly against the conditions that decide which one applies. So the question worth sitting with once this ends, which of the 4 conditions scored earlier do you think determines whether your own number lands closer to 200,000 or closer to 30,000? And are you currently accumulating toward it or waiting for proof the condition already happened? None of this is financial advice. The 4% rule is a retirement planning framework, not a guarantee that any specific asset delivers the return required to sustain it. And every scenario above is illustrative math, not a forecast. Crypto is volatile. This week proved that directly, and any position size should reflect what can genuinely survive drawdowns like the one XRP just experienced, not what looks appealing after a week of gains. If this video gave you an actual number instead of another vague prediction, tap like, since that's the clearest signal that tells the platform to put real math in front of people tired of guessing. Subscribe to see each of these 4 conditions tracked as they resolve, because this channel revisits this exact scoring the moment any of them confirms or breaks. Send this to the person in your life who says they're holding XRP for retirement but has never actually run the number. And drop your own target in the comments, 1,000 a month or something else entirely, since the same formula works no matter what income figure gets plugged into it. The math changes, the method never does. Run your own number, then build toward it.